What if LEGO released a collectible minifigure series based on the filmography of Christopher Nolan? With The Odyssey releasing this Friday in the US, I drafted a list including one character from each of his films. Realistically, this probably couldn't happen, even excluding rights being held up in different places. Oppenheimer, as a historical figure, has some controversy, just inherently. And then Dunkirk, obviously a war film. LEGO doesn't want to touch that. And then there may be other characters with some themes that aren't family friendly that I'm forgetting. So just pretend. Okay, pretend. I'm, of course, just your average Joe, the director of My Immortal. And I thought I was going to have a Wes Anderson or an Ingmar Bergman series out before this, but I drew all these pictures so fast, I was having so much fun, and hopefully it doesn't show that I drew them really fast. Starting off strong, we've got the guy from Following, and a lot of people would be excited to get this character if they were looking to complete collecting all the Christopher Nolan characters. I'm joking, obviously, that's a bit harsh. I like this movie. He also comes with a wrench in case he wants to break into any Lego houses. Next up, we've got Leonard from Memento, which is the movie that really put Christopher Nolan on the map. This is our second minifigure of Guy Pearce, Monum, if you know, who we also got a minifigure from Iron Man 3. He has that suit piece that I've used a lot in my stop motions. His accessory is a 1x1 tile printed with "Don't Believe His Lies," If you've seen the movie, you understand, yeah. Will Dormer, Al Pacino's character from the highly underrated Insomnia, is here. Even if he looks like Mitt Romney, his accessory is a rifle. This would be our first Lego Al Pacino. Maybe I'll do a Godfather or Coppola CMF someday, I don't know. Picking out the characters for the Dark Knight trilogy was hard since we actually have Legos of these characters. I thought of doing Ra's al Ghul, I don't know. I thought it'd be strange if the guy who directed the Dark Knight trilogy didn't have a Batman minifigure in it, so I made one with a new cowl piece that would actually go over minifigure eyes. If you're not familiar, Lego Batman minifigures always have white eyes. So he has a face print with the eye makeup, which we see on Christian Bale, and then we have a more standard Christian Bale face. His accessories are a Batarang piece, which is one of the rarer ones, but it looks more like the Dark Knight versions. And he has the antidote, because this is actually a Batman Begins Batman. The antidote to the Scarecrow's fear toxins. Yeah, moving on. Okay, so we have Robert, aka Hugh Jackman's character from The Prestige, which, this may sound crazy, may be my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. I don't know, I haven't seen it in a while. Love that goofy ass hat, that's just so huge, and his accessory is a bird, which there are a few of in the movie. Again, with the actual Lego sets of these Dark Knight characters, there's a lot of the Heath Ledger Joker, so I made him in the nurse variant, which we haven't got. It is pretty much inspired by the video games. There are a few versions of him, but I did make it my own with the sleeves, a few other things here and there. His accessory is that radio piece for the detonator of the bombs. Then we've got Cobb from Inception. This would be the first Lego Leonardo DiCaprio, although I may draw him a lot if I do a Scorsese series at some point. His accessory is obviously that top, which would be a new mold that can fit in his hand. No, I didn't draw it in his hand. Catwoman from The Dark Knight Rises would be the only female character in this whole series. Look, there weren't a lot of options, and you know it's true. Anyway, I love Anne Hathaway. She is always welcome to do voices for my stop motions, and her accessory is a gun. She doesn't have a whip in the movie, I don't think. Next up, we have Cooper from Interstellar, a lot of people's favorite. Not my favorite, even though it is very good. Even though Cooper's first name is Joseph canonically, he does have a new piece for his helmet, which I think is really cute, and you can take that off to reveal Lego Matthew McConaughey. For Dunkirk, we have Alex, who is Harry Styles' character. I spent way too long drawing this face because my sister is obsessed with Harry Styles. Harry Styles, no! And I'm always seeing this guy's face. So I had to make sure it turned out right, and I think it turned out pretty good. Here it is without the mud, although I do like how I did the mud there. For Tenet, of course, we have the protagonist, which is just his name, or the protagonist, as Mr. Plinkett would say. I'm not gonna lie, this one is not my favorite, but I like how the minifigure turned out. He has a mask as a reference to the fact the movie was released in a global pandemic. I see Oppenheimer. Yeah, it's Oppenheimer is next. Cillian Murphy, of course. I'll never forget when this won Best Picture, and my friend Madeline, who is in many of my videos, if you're a fan, I'm sure you'll recognize her. She just screamed in agony and then ran to the bathroom to take a shower. She was very upset Oppenheimer won, even though she'd never seen it, which was kind of funny. His accessory is that book he reads right after sex, where he discovers his favorite quote, "Death, destroyer of worlds." Of course, from the Odyssey, we had to have Odysseus, and I haven't seen this movie, so I don't have a lot to say about my opinions, anything like that. But I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. I don't know, not my favorite as far as like the drawing. I'm excited to see the movie. It's been so long since I've read the book. I honestly am not sure if I read the Iliad, actually. Like, that's how long ago it's been. Then we've got the man himself, Christopher Nolan, acclaimed Academy Award-winning director, although he didn't win for writing, as in that funny story. He's got the Mr. Incredible hairpiece, which seems like it was made for him, honestly. And I don't know, it was cool to revisit, draw all these characters, because he kind of had a hand in me getting into film, from the Batman films to his films, and then just expanding out from there. I think he's helped a lot of people, get into film. Oh, and his accessory is a film reel, I forgot to mention. So there you have it. We have the full lineup for the series, one for each movie. Again, you know the drill, screenshot, feel free, send a picture to your friend group, say me and the girls. I don't really have as much to share at the end here like I did for the Criterion series, which I talked about how I chose the characters. This one, it was very straightforward. I was picking one from each movie, so it was pretty obvious which one I was going to pick for all of them. So yeah, if you like this, definitely check out the Criterion series I did if you haven't seen that, and I'll have a Wes Anderson and Ingmar Bergman series coming soon. And definitely check out my films as well. My Immortal, I'm working on part 3. I'm really stunned by how many people have been watching it lately, so thank you all you new subscribers, love you.